Guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S. Hope everyone's well, keeping safe and all that sort of stuff, and finding something to do, or lots to do during this time, lockdown time. It's a rather late video because it's nearly 1 in the morning here in the UK, but unfortunately I was behind schedule. I didn't quite get to, I went to sleep for a bit longer than planned and stuff like that, so I didn't organise my time as well as I would like. So anyway, so I decided to upload a video before I go to sleep. And as I say, this is kind of technically almost a day late, but I did want to. I've talked about trying to upload a video every day at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload a video technically later today, 15th April, or not, because I might try and work on my writings, but if not tomorrow, I'll probably upload one on Thursday. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about my dreams for and I talked before about how I wish to support Pan-Asianism in April, May and June, and as much as possible of August as well, which is my birth month. And I'm hoping to cover things like people in Asia to learn about dyslexia, the weaknesses, but also the strengths of dyslexia. Such as, say, for instance, apparently, according to research, 20% of self-made millionaires in the UK and about 35% in the US are dyslexic. So I think it'd be interesting to find what percentage of self-made millionaires or even billionaires in Asia are dyslexic, and maybe some are dyslexic but don't talk about it or whatnot. I mean, I wonder if someone like Jack Ma, who's China's richest man, who didn't, I don't think he was that good a student from what I got about his backstory, and he couldn't get a regular job. So I wonder if he is dyslexic. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't jump to speculations. But I think it'd be interesting to find out. And also, like, if, say, for instance, there is a discrepancy. So, for instance, in Western countries, if you like the US or UK, more people with dyslexia can become business people because of the support or the understanding. And maybe Asian nations, if they see that, will be able to say, if we see a dyslexic kid in the classroom, we'll know that he might not be the best academically, but he can still be financially successful or successful in a field like sports or, as I say, or business or different areas. And some of the strengths, and it will probably be different for different individuals. Like, for instance, some dyslexics are really good at maths, but some are not. I'm not that great at maths myself, but some of my fellow dyslexics, who I understand, are really good at maths. Some could probably work in banking, but they might not be that great at spelling or reading or writing or things like that. I had special help at school, so one-to-one help, so I learned to spell. But obviously my punctuation and all that is a bit weird, but I sort of guess weird. And I'm obsessed with putting punctuation where it shouldn't be, I know that. But so apologies about that for people who don't enjoy reading that, but I'll try and make it as good as possible, of course. But yeah, I didn't really want to just talk about dyslexia. I wanted to talk about entrepreneurship in Asia and how it can perhaps lift people out of poverty. But all being well, I will cover as soon as possible videos about Asians learning about dyslexia, like I did before with a video about Africans learning about dyslexia. And also other neurodiverse conditions, like I use the term special education or special needs or learning disabilities, LDs for short, LDP, learning disabled people, or neurodiversity to cover people with autism, dyslexia, ADHD, dyspraxia, which I've got as well, and hyperlexia and things like that. As I say, I've seen a lot of research about dyslexia, especially in entrepreneurship. There's loads of great videos about dyslexia and entrepreneurship, which I hope to share with people in Asia so that they can see dyslexic people can do well. And I dream that, like, in the future, I can help, by 2030, I can help as many dyslexics across Asia to become millionaires or even billionaires. That's like one of my crazy dreams. By inspiring them, encouraging them from when they're at school, to have the confidence as well, possibly to learn maybe even encourage people like Richard Branson and people like that to mentor in Asia, set up their own schools for dyslexic people especially. And also, like, and I've not really done much research on ADHD, but I'm sure ADHD there'll be loads of entrepreneurs and people who are successful with ADHD. I don't think that ADHD is as quite as common or prevalent as dyslexia. So they might not quite have quite as many success stories, but percentage-wise, they might have just as much, if not more. So I think it would be interesting to find how many people with ADHD or what percentage of self-made millionaires or billionaires have ADHD. Not that money's everything, but I just think it's quite interesting, like as about success stories, and also to give them the confidence, like in countries like China and India, and I'm sure the rest of Asia, dyslexic students are probably treated really badly, or even probably in some cases beaten up or shouted at least. And obviously old practices die hard and all that sort of stuff. So even if it's illegal, sometimes teachers will still do it without hoping they won't get caught. So as far as I'm aware, so if they see that dyslexic students might not be the best at doing certain things, or the best academically or taking information or whatever, but can still become like the next Richard Branson. So if you say to someone in India, a dyslexic kid could become the next Richard Branson or Charles Schwab or John Chambers or some other CEO. And I think John Chambers, the former CEO of Cisco, I'm not sure if he's still the CEO of Cisco anymore, said that about a quarter of entrepreneurs have dyslexia, but many don't want to talk about it for various reasons. And he didn't want to talk about it, but then he accidentally revealed he's dyslexic when he was talking at his daughter's school or something like that, and a dyslexic kid came along and they were really shy, but he spoke to him and he didn't realize the mic was still on, so he didn't want to reveal he's dyslexic, but then he found that it inspired a lot of people. So anyway, so I've gone off track a bit, but I also dream to make a Pan-Asian group generally, so that as well as Pan-Asian Learn Disabled group, to utilize the strengths of people on the neurodiverse spectrum. Like autistic people can be really good at science or maths or other things like that, or art. And dyslexic people can be really good at creative ideas and art. And some dyslexic people can even become writers in spite of the condition. It's one area you probably wouldn't expect us to go into, but I think that's quite interesting. And but yeah, I thought I'd make a video, and I know I've gone a bit off track, but yeah, so somehow I know there's lots of division in Asia and that sort of thing, but I think of this exciting prospect or possibility that approximately 4 billion people, and I've talked about this before, but 4 billion people or so across Asia, all working together and on shared goals, like how to empower enterprise, how to come up with ideas, and if as many of those people as possible could encourage each other. I was thinking that if they only worked like an hour a day each, that would still be 4 billion hours a day. And I worked out, I think per year that would be like 1.246 trillion or something, and that's just 1 hour a day. So if they worked a regular like 8 hours or so, it would be even more. So anyway, I probably shouldn't, but I've made a last cup of tea before I go to sleep, but I probably shouldn't have done that because it's nearly 1 o'clock here. But and then I wonder why I wake up in the morning. And I also had a nap about 7 till 9 or something like that, so, or 7:30 or something. So but yeah, so I'd love to promote Asian products, Asian networking, and all that sort of thing. And although I disagree with what's happening in China a lot of time, with where apparently where the Chinese are treating African immigrants badly, and I think it would be understandable for Africans to return the favour. So I think it's a shame if people of colour, POC for short, don't unite together and support each other, considering like white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, WASP or whatever you call them, in America, and white supremacists are against us. So I think it's a shame if Chinese people don't treat people from Africa better. I know I've probably gone way off track, but I was thinking, because I want to support this network, I probably shouldn't have questioned or slagged off, if that's the right word, the Chinese. But at the same time, I still think it's something to bring up. So I hope that the Chinese will treat people from Africa better, and in return, they'll be treated better when they go to work in Africa as well. And yeah, I love people of colour to network together, especially to support at this moment in time, like Asia. And at other times of the year, I wish to support Africa. Anyway, I hope I'm not waffling, probably not making a huge amount of sense, but I'm hoping to share this video with people in Asia, and I hope that it will inspire them, especially famous dyslexics, especially in business and things like that. Because on Tuesdays, I like to focus on business, banking and ideas like that, and tourism for Asia and things like that. So, but anyway, I suppose technically it's Wednesday now, but anyway, peace and love wherever you are.